Hey everybody, Agent of Doubt here again. Another ramble. You guys know that I should be doing things in person. I should be in Grand Junction right now watching a trial, but that trial was canceled due to somebody taking a plea, and so therefore I've got a lot of free time on my hands. Time to think, time to keep my grades up in grad school, you know. And, yeah, last night I watched night one of the 2019 Democratic Party debates, and I'm waiting for the debates to happen tonight. But I had one of those themes pop up that I've been thinking about for a while, and it's due to other people's coverage of debates and what happened this morning with my, YouTube algorithm feeding me different videos to watch, whatnot. So, first I'll say I started off on Twitter and I was looking at all the memes that were posted, and I felt like I was validated with all of the opinions that I had as takeaways. A lot of people telling me that the wokeness is something that is going to kill the Democratic Party, which I don't think it's going to kill them, but when it's plastic fake wokeness, it does not help. They're reaching out to a niche demographic that could find its way to the other side, in some sort of bizarro world. But there's a lot of people in this world that vote against their own good self-interests. Case in point, everywhere where Donald Trump won, in the 2016 election, how well are they doing versus the rest of the country in the 3 years since? The rest of the country has had a lot better times than the places that actually voted for Donald Trump. So, if those people were voting in their own self-interests, maybe they would have voted a different way. But yeah, after that, I looked at all your comments on my last video, answered them personally because I'm that kind of guy, and none of them came off as questions that I needed to expound upon in my next video. So if you've got one of those questions, leave them in the description because I'll slip them into anything. That's the kind of YouTuber I am. I'm the Rambler. Anyways, so I watched Shionhead's video, and I felt like even though I was rooting for a different person, I was seeing a lot of the comedic points that she riffed on with her and her boyfriend, and at the end I saw that her video was claimed and taken down because she was live streaming the debates. And these debates, they're not a government function. They're a political party function, right? And they were, I think it was CNBC was the main outlet that you're supposed to watch them on, right? And so they put on this show, and a lot of the attention that gets more airtime and more viewership than the show that they're putting on is the people who are regurgitating, right? And Shionhead is by far one of the least guilty of this thing that pisses me off. But she's no longer able to stream for like 90 days because of having copyrighted material in her video. And yeah, I feel like it should have been fair use because it was more about her reactions to what was going on in the debates than the actual debates. There was enough, and my threshold for fair use is a lot lower than a lot of other people. If you just top and tail a clip with your own opinion, to me, that's enough for fair use. But the next video that I watched, having that as my primer, right, and feeling bad, like, yeah, I'm sorry you got taken down in this horrible system we have on YouTube. That is my primer. The next video I watched was David Pakman, right? And I felt like it should have been a video about the debates that I would see from David Pakman, the day after the debates. But I look at this video that's recommended to me, and it says YouTube is over, at least for us, and I'm like, the fuck? I'm just feeling more energized about YouTube and social media because of the cycle that we're about to go into. And so I click on it, and it's basically a fucking telethon for his own Patreon, basically, for people to donate to him if they appreciate his kind of content, because Google is giving him less and less referrals from the Watch Next column, the recommended column. He's getting, now it's down to like 18% of his views are coming from that, when it used to be fucking 25-30, right? Here's what I have to say about that. First of all, motherfucker. Okay, you, David Pakman, Kyle Kalinske, fucking Humanist Report, a lot of fucking people. You started with fucking just a regular fucking room, and it turns out that you got a little fucking popularity. You put a fucking TV screen that costs a couple $100s in your room. You fucking put it to the side, and you have fucking, graphics. You put some fucking production polish, which cost a couple $100 fucking dollars, right? To run a show like yours, like this, all of this shit, the subscribe pillow and the fucking mic, the YouTube fucking logo. This is a parody of you. This fucking mic is not on. You would hear a pop. None of these either, right? Props. Because I'm making fun of you, right? I should get a fucking TV screen and put it behind me. You don't deserve to have those views. You're not entitled to those views. What happened was, motherfucker, a while back, you figured out the algorithm, figured out what to do in order to game the algorithm and get as many views as possible. Maybe you just fucking happened on it. Maybe it was a thing where you looked at what other people were doing, right? And Google was just fucking funneling the views to you. They turned on the faucet, the fire hose of views, right? You're getting hundreds of thousands of eyes referred to you from Google. And now it's just like a couple less 100,000 views a fucking day that are being funneled to you. And you're like, Google's fucking killing us now. YouTube's trying to kill us. No, motherfucker. You had way too many views for what you're fucking worth in the first place. And let me tell you why. Okay? You are a news fucking regurgitator. You have no fucking staff like all the fucking places that you're reading news from. Okay? You don't have the production costs that these news outlets have. You're not putting fucking boots in the field, fucking interviewing people, and fucking doing the fucking hard work that you are a parasite of. Okay? Most of the fucking revenue now is going to you and people like you, because a fucking organization that puts in that investment, right? They fucking put in the money to create these news articles and to actually go get the news and put it out there in the world. They're being fucking latched onto by every motherfucking commentary channel out there. Every fucking outlet that puts themselves forth as being great for news, right? And this is not just fucking David Pakman or these people on the left. I'll say Steven Crowder, Joe Rogan, all these places. They have low fucking production costs, and they're fucking getting most of the revenue that these news organizations that invested the initial investment in should be getting, right? And then they cry when that faucet is turned back just a little fucking bit, and then they turn their fucking channel into a telethon. I haven't seen Joe Rogan do this yet, but he's got an incredible fucking following that are paying him a lot of money on the side, right? When the fucking shit gets turned back just a little bit, and they can prove it, like, oh, it used to be this 100,000, now it's only this 100,000. Then they're like, oh, time for you to make up the difference, you viewers that might appreciate me myself. And by the way, everybody, listen up. This is not me doing a telethon for my own Patreon, okay? I fund my shit on my own. If you want to give me money outside of this fucking video, go ahead. There's many ways that I put in the description and all that. But if this is the video that you were making that decision on, I don't fucking want your money, right? I'm trying to, like, break the fourth wall and fucking talk to you as a fucking human being right now and say, no, I'd be doing this shit if you guys were giving me zero, right? I enjoy this shit. I enjoy having this dialogue. And I've told people to stop giving me money in the past because this isn't about money for me. I have a career outside of this that rewards me plenty. Back to what I'm talking about. The fucking telethons. When you see people say, you know, if this content wasn't funded by you guys, I don't know what we would do, right? Go ahead and fucking do the math on that. Go to their fucking Patreon, look at how many donors they have, figure that it's somewhere between $1 and $5 per donor if they've turned off all of the metrics because they don't want people to know how much money they're really making. But before they turned off those metrics, you can go to graphtreon.com and see how much money they were making before they stopped wanting people to know how much money they were making. Like, last I looked, Kyle Kalinske was pulling in a cool $250,000 a fucking year from just Patreon, right? And for what production costs, right? What are you getting for this work? You know, is there a staff editor? Are there a couple reporters that he will say, and this is a report from this other reporter that's on my payroll? No, it's him and a fucking microphone. The microphone might be a couple hundred, maybe by now. The stand, somewhere between $30 and $250, depending on what kind of fucking stand it's on, right? A fucking TV. All of that shit was paid for in month one, right? Green paint? Fucking fluorescent green paint? Is that what you guys fucking think that it's worth a fucking $250,000 fucking dollars a year? Right? And that's just the one person that I've looked at. Fucking Philip DeFranco at least has, you know, up front a staff that he's told us about. The breakdown is there, how much he's fucking paying for all of that shit. And of all of these people that I'm talking to you guys about, I regularly probably watch Philip DeFranco and Secular Talk, Kyle Kalinske, the most because they talk about the things that I'm interested in, right? But when it gets to that pitch of televangelism, of send me the fucking money if you want to see this continue, when it comes to the telethon, I'm like, oh my god. Whatever enjoyment I was getting out of it, to me it's like when Beto O'Rourke was in the debates and he starts talking about, instead of answering the direct policy question, he starts talking about, oh, well, I was in bumfuck Egypt, Iowa, and Johnny, Johnny was trying to walk around, but he has no legs, and he's rolling around on a skateboard. I think about we should have better ramps to our libraries, because Johnny, when any fucking politician does that shit, right? When they bring it down to like that sort of pulling at your heartstrings that politicians have been doing for a whole fucking century, and they read somewhere in a book that that's what works, and it just comes off as so fucking fake because they're trying to appeal to your heartstrings, and you can see it so fucking plainly. That's how I feel about these fucking telethon calls of like, please, if you want to support this, the only way this show goes on is by your support, because we were getting, thousands of dollars a month from Google, and now we're only getting a few less thousands of dollars a month from Google, and we're showing you this graph, but what they're not showing you is the exact opposite on the graph, because of all their fucking telethon calls of astronomical fucking profits, because they have zero fucking overhead basically compared to all the money that they're taking in, right? Anyways, that entitlement, the idea that the algorithm worked one way to give me an overabundance of views, and now that it's giving me less, I don't like it, because I was profiting when the algorithm was giving me views that I didn't have to work for, that would just be referred to me. It's so plastic and getting old, and it's one of the reasons why I never do it. It's I love you real YouTubers who are out there, who just make videos just for the fuck of it, just like me. Love you guys. I'm all worked up now. Tonight we'll watch the debates together. I won't be live streaming the debates on a Hangout, because I am well aware up front that that's not a thing that you're allowed to do. And afterwards I'll make a video just like this, giving my opinions, and we'll see what kind of conversations we'll have. But I'm damn sure not going to be asking you guys for money for my fucking opinion. Even though some of you really enjoy it, I don't think that my opinion is that much better than some of the other opinions out there that you guys owe me $250,000 a year. I think there's plenty of opinions out there. We'll just put it that way. And hopefully you support the things that bring value to your life. And when you do support something, you look at the machine behind it. And I know that I'm very biased about this, because I have seen a lot of nonprofits turn into machines for asking for money. Like, they get a staff member. They finally, the nonprofit gets to the point where they can afford to pay for, 30, 40, 50,000 a year for a position, for an internship to, like, their president, whatever. They get to that point, and what does that person's job become? Begging for money. Because if they don't bring in enough in donations, they lose their job, maybe. But maybe they want somebody as a staff member to do the work for them, so that they can do even more begging for money. The overhead of nonprofits that are supposed to be doing a certain job, and they just become they become a machine to ask for more money rather than actually doing the fucking job. It pisses me off, and for me, same thing with talking heads. If you're a talking head and people enjoy you being a talking head, I want to see you being a talking head. I don't want to see you becoming an e-beggar for way more than you are worth for being a fucking talking head. Know your role.